Our next guest is Andre Van Damme, director of the Academy Ballet. Originally, I believe Mr. Van Damme comes from Brussels, Belgium, and currently, let's see, you've been in the States for quite a while, right?
Yes, sir.
I'd like to ask you a few questions about ballet because it's kind of a new field in the form of art, isn't it, or in the world of art?
Yes, and especially in America, I think, because in Europe it is an art which is considered one of the first. But in America, I think it's quite young.
Well, I'll have to be very naive and ask you some stuff that I really don't know about, but I've heard many times the use of the word like choreographer, and that's frightening to me, but you probably could explain it well.
Well, the choreographer in general is the man who makes the dances, who put all the steps together, and who makes sometimes the story and follow the story from the ballet. That's what makes the choreographer. I mean, composing the dances is what we call a choreographer.
Well, Andre, then could we call the choreographer the composer?
Yes, the composer of the ballet.
He actually originates it.
Yes, he composed the steps.
Now, music, when you compose a song, you can sort of put the whole thing on a piece of paper and write it out. Can you do that with ballet?
Well, some people does it, but I think it has to come from your head, and it has to stay there.
Well, I should think you'd have to have a troupe to sort of maneuver them in at first, wouldn't you have to have that?
What?
I mean, you'd have to have dancers to help you originate the forms.
Not necessary. For instance, I do in general my concerts only alone, or well, with one or two partners. So it's not necessary always to have a troupe, I mean.
Mm-hmm.
You can do it, especially alone also. All that depends, I mean.
Ballet, too, always has sort of a storyline. It tells a story?
Not necessary. You have some classic ballets where there is no story, it's only steps, really ballet. But then you have, in general now, every ballet has a story, because it makes it more important and people like it more.
Well, what do you do for collecting story or for story material for your ballets?
Well,
where do you get them from?
Myself, for instance, I try to find out, I learn, I try to read books and the history and all that, try to make some stories about
We might say then that you're always learning in ballet, you never conquer it.
Sometimes, yes. For instance, if you do a traditional ballet like the Swan Lake, well, it comes already under chairs already. Every time you do the same things. I mean, there you don't do something from yourself. But if you compose something by yourself, I mean, then it has to come from your head. I don't know if you understand me quite well. But,
I do. Andre Van Damme, thank you very much for chatting with us. I feel I've learned something from you.
Thank you very much.
Good luck now.